I could recognize my pa from far away, simply by watching him take a single step. He stood about 5 feet 7 inches tall and had short, thick, black hair. He walked with his fists clenched and his elbows bent sharply as he brought his powerful arms up in time. His strides were rigid and purposeful, a gait he had learned when he was a soldier in his teens. He held his back ramrod straight and his shoulders high and kept his head very still, his dark eyes looking ahead. He had been in the army for so long that he marched everywhere. Even when not wearing his green officer's uniform, he marched. He marched when he could have relaxed. That's what a lifetime of war does to a man. I think of him while returning to Cambodia for the first time in 32 years. I have not been back to my native land since I crossed the border into a Thai refugee camp in 1980, fortunate to have survived a torturous 3 years, 8 months, and 10 days in the Khmer Rouge's killing fields and a year of homelessness that followed. So much has changed in my life since. I'm an American citizen, a college graduate, a father, and an officer in the U.S. Secret Service Uniformed Division. I'm traveling to Cambodia with a contingent of fellow Secret Service officers and agents on a C-17 military cargo plane. We are going to protect President Barack Obama, the first American president to visit Cambodia. As the enormous plane, which is as big as a warehouse, carries us toward Phnom Penh, my mind is not on the history of this moment, but on the memories of my heart. My pa had enlisted in the Army during World War II, when he was only 16, a decision that ended his school days. A French colony since 1863, Cambodia was under the control of the French Vichy government that led the nation after the Nazi invasion of France. This new wartime leadership sought to enlist as many of Cambodia's young men as possible into an expanding military. My pa was poor, like most of Cambodia's people, and needed work. When World War II ended, the French government reasserted its rule over the colony. My pa continued to serve. He had no other option. A few years into his service, my pa was forced to take on a new assignment. French officers marched him and a group of his fellow Cambodian soldiers to a transport plane and flew them above the countryside near Phnom Penh. They sat along each side of the windowless fuselage, unable to see outside. It was the first time he had ever flown. The Cambodian soldiers had not been told the purpose of the flight. Once in the air, the French sergeants handed out parachutes and ordered the Cambodians to strap them onto their backs. My pa and the other men put on the parachutes, watching the officers' instructions. Once they were outfitted, a tall sergeant shouted, "Count to 5, then pull the cord."